Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining. This is Shams Bimani and I, on behalf of ICM International, welcome you all to an informative webinar organized by National CPD Committee of ICM International on exploring the opportunities for accounting charting, a course for the future. Let's begin our today's session with the recitation of Holy Quran.
Sham, there is some problem, no issue. I can recite the verses and then you can start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Sir, good afternoon. From Institute Charter Nepal.
Thank you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kul wallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Thank you, everybody. Let's start, Mr. Shams.
Jazakallah. ICM International marked its 73 years of success on May 23rd, 2023, empowering future leaders locally as well as internationally. Today's webinar titled Exploring the Opportunity for Accounting, Charting a Course for the Future, aim is to shed lights on evolving landscape of the accounting professions, on the countless opportunity that lies within. The webinar will probe into key topics such as automation, data analytics, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence, highlighting how these advancements are reshaping the field of accounting. Participants will gain a valuable insight into the skills and the knowledge required to stay ahead in this dynamic industry, exploring innovative strategies for leveraging technology, navigating regulatory changes, and adapting the emerging trends. With the expert speakers and the panelists, this webinar promised to equip the accountants with the necessary tools and strategies to chart a successful course for the future, enabling them to thrive with the ever-changing accounting landscape. I once again welcome you to this wonderful webinar, and we hope that it will leave its full impact and would result in a fruitful learning and a thought-provoking experience. I just would like to announce the participation that you can post your questions. The chat box is available, and we'll try to incorporate during the panel discussion. For welcome address, may I request Mr. Awais Yasin, Honorary Treasurer and the Chairman, CPD Committee of ICM Pakistan. Mr. Awais is a fellow member of the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants and LLB from Punjab University Law College, Lahore, and a certified director from LAMS. He is also a director of LESCO Employee Housing Foundation and a member of governing board of Al Mustafa Welfare Foundation. Mr. Awais is working as company secretary of Lahore Electric Supply Company. He is elected member of National Council of ICMA and honorary secretary, as well as chairman CPD Committee of ICMA Pakistan. He has diversified experience for more than 15 years in finance, corporate law, secretary practice, compiled a book on a company law and secretary practice for ICMA, ICAP, and MBA students, and at large, most of them are benefiting. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shams. Honorable speakers, learned panelists, respected ICMAP members, and students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. It is indeed a matter of great pleasure for me to welcome all of you in this webinar organized on the occasion of celebrations of 73rd Foundation Day of ICMA. I extend my heartiest gratitude to international learned speakers and our local national speakers, panelists who have joined and spared precious time for today's session. It's honor for us, it's honor for ICMA, and we are highly obliged. In current economic scenario, it has become a big challenge for professional accountants for sustainable growth and pursue their career opportunity. Keeping view of this fact, ICMA has arranged this webinar to aware all our members to exploring the opportunities for accounting profession and charting a course for the future. We have wonderful speakers from across the world, including Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, US, UK, and we have, I hope that we shall have a very fruitful session and very career opportunities. We shall have a good session here. Thanks from ICMA and from National CPD Committee. Over to you, Shams, for next session.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I take the opportunity to introduce to today's guest speaker, Mr. Gary Cockens, the founder and the CEO of Analytical-Based Performance Management LLC USA. Mr. Gary is an international recognized expert, speaker, and author, and enterprise, corporate and performance management. He's the founder of Analytics-Based Performance Management. He started his career in the industry with Fortune 100 companies in CFO and operation roles. With over 15 years of consulting exposure with Deloitte, KPMG, EDS, now the part of HP. We welcome sir, and thank you very much for joining us today. Over to you.
Well, thank you, Shams. Let me see if we can successfully get the share my screen.
Sure.
Can you see that?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's visible.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for inviting me to be a presenter. It's a privilege for me, but with a privilege comes responsibility. So I've got to get a good message across here. If anyone is interested in directly communicating with me, you can take my email address there, gcockens@garycockens.com. My website has tabs with free downloads. You don't have to pay anything for articles, that I have written. All right, let me just embellish what you just mentioned. Yes, I'm Gary Cockens. I did get my industrial engineering and operations degree from Cornell University in 1971, my MBA from Northwestern Kellogg School of Management, 74. If anybody's doing the math, I am 73 years old, but I feel like I'm 43 years old. You already mentioned the companies that I was with. I concluded my career 8 years ago with 16 years with SAS. Many won't recognize who is SAS. It's the world's largest software vendor, privately owned, 15,000 employees. The books, why are the books there? I believe careers have a lot more to do with luck and circumstances than being smart and competent. And I had a lucky break. In 1988, KPMG Consulting struck an exclusive contract with Harvard Business School professor Robert S. Kaplan, and many will recognize his name from the Balanced Scorecard, which I will talk about in just a minute or so. But he did the early pioneering work in activity-based costing, and so I got recruited, I implemented it, I wrote a book, and that led to other books. And the books, I do not encourage you to buy the books. Chapter 1 is free, so just go to wiley.com. Okay, a couple of remarks about the future of management accounting. I have been a 30-year member with the Institute of Management Accounting, and the upside opportunity, which this, I believe, the next few hours for all the attendees should get inspired. There is so much upside opportunity for management accounting, including ESG, environmental, social, and governance, carbon footprint accounting and reporting. It's going to be critical, to save our planet from climate change. And there are other, threats, artificial intelligence. It's coming sooner than most people realize, and few are prepared. It is going to impact jobs in the accounting world. Accounts payable clerk, payroll clerk, receivable clerk. Wow, those jobs will be replaced by a computer. The audit, but that's for a future time. So what I am going to talk about for the next 10 or 12 minutes is what's caused interest in corporate performance management. And before I go through this list of 8, let me first give a definition. What is corporate performance management? There's a lot of confusion and lack of consensus. What it is not a system or a process. It's the integration of multiple methods. And I'm going to go through these methods with these 8 items here. The problem is when organizations do implement some of them, they implement them in isolation of each other. So you've got budgeting people in one part of the building, risk management people other building, process improvement other part of the building, profit margin pricing other part of the building. The problem is you get a lot more, the opportunity is you get a lot more synergy when you seamlessly integrate. Look at my fingers like gears in a machine, and even more power when you embed analytics of all flavors into them, regression, correlation, and so forth. So what's caused interest? Let me start with number 1, the executive frustration with strategy failure. Most executives are quite good at formulating the strategy. Their frustration is successfully implementing it. And there's a fair amount of empirical evidence. I'm from Chicago, incidentally, and there is a executive recruiting firm in Chicago called Challenger, Gray and Christmas. They monitor the involuntary turnover of CEOs in North America, the firing of CEOs. It has been increasing every year. And I believe why? Because most board of directors today, post-Enron, take their job far more seriously, their governance job. So if the CEO is not implementing the strategy, they're gone. Carly Fiorini at Hewlett-Packard be an example. So the solution is the balanced scorecard with strategy map. There are other deployment methods, but with the balanced scorecard strategy map, you can put targets on key performance indicators, targets, you can assign them to different individuals. It aligns the behavior of the employees and managers with the strategy of the executives. The reality is most managers don't understand the executive team strategy. The strategy map and balanced scorecard solves that. Number 2, increased accountability. Today, there is no place to hide. Managers and employee teams will be monitored. They will be measured. It doesn't necessarily mean their jobs are at risk, but it could adversely impact their salary increases or job promotions. Number 3, more rapid decision-making. Unlike a few years ago when you could test and learn and have meetings in conference rooms, today, people will be on the phone, go or no go, yes or no. They have to make a decision in real time. They almost wish that an executive was sitting next to them during that phone call and say, what decision should I make based on the strategy that you want to implement? Number 4, and this will be of interest to everybody, mistrust of the management accounting system for transparency and accuracy. The reality is most managers do not trust the management accounting information. Why? Because of overhead cost allocations. They know that they are overly simplistic. Overhead, I really refer to as indirect expense. Traditionally, the way most accountants allocate overhead is like spreading butter across bread. They use allocation factors like number of labor hours or number of sales amount, units produced, square feet, square meter, number of employees, cost center. None of those factors reflect the unique consumption that products and standard service lines and channels and customers consume of the end-to-end business processes and the work activities that belong to them. And of course, the solution to that one is activity-based costing. Sadly, very few organizations have adopted activity-based costing, even though Professor Robert S. Kaplan wrote the book in 1975, Management Accounting, Relevance Lost, the Decline of Management Accounting. Number 5, poor customer value management. The reality is customers are the source of financial wealth creation for owners and shareholders. The problem is most CFOs and accountants do not measure customer profitability. They stop halfway down on the income statement at just product gross profit margin. They need to include channel distribution expenses, marketing expenses, sales expenses, cost to serve expenses. They need to get a profit and loss statement for each customer. And the reason why is because it's shocking when you actually see the truth about customer profitability. because everybody believes, oh, our largest customer in sales is our most profitable. No, that's not always the case. Some of the largest customers are so demanding, always changing distribution schedules, always calling help desk, always returning goods, you know, and all of that increased effort creates higher costs. So a large sales customer may be unprofitable. So we need to actually measure customer profitability. Number 6, contentious budgeting, poor resource capacity planning. This may shock all of you, but I believe the annual budgeting process is so broken that my advice is stop budgeting. Well, did I catch your attention? But that begs the question, what was the purpose of a budget in the first place, and how might we replicate it with some of these corporate performance management methods? You know, back to the problems with the budget, it tends to be obsolete and out of date a couple of months after you publish it. It caves into the loudest voice and strongest muscle of those managers who know how to pad their budget. You know, what's really bad is when a manager is a couple of months away from the end of the fiscal period and they can see on their glide path they haven't spent all the money that was allotted and approved for them. What do they start doing? They start spending needlessly, foolishly, because they know that their next year's fiscal budget is going to be pegged to a baseline of how much they spent this year. We call it use it or lose it behavior. You know, this is the way many organizations budget. You give every manager a spreadsheet, January to December, every line item of the expense statement, including paper clips and rubber bands. They all fill it out. Someone in the accounting department then consolidates them. You bring in the revenue forecast. You give it to the executives. They say, that's okay, but not good enough. You give all the spreadsheets back to the managers. They lower some of their expenses, consolidate it back to the executives. That's better, not good enough. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Come on. You almost want the executives to answer, what number did you want in the first place? But that would be their aspiration. What we need, though, is reality. And when you integrate these corporate performance management methods, you can get to this predictive view, how much capacity spending will be needed in the future. Always good for rolling financial forecasts. We can refresh it quarterly, maybe even monthly. And we use that same type of methods for what if scenario analysis and the like. But you do need to think like an industrial engineer, because you have to classify the behavior of the resource capacity as sunk, fixed, step fixed, and variable. But not all management accountants have skills in understanding how to classify that behavior. Number 7, dysfunctional supply chain management. The problem here is for companies that are in a supply chain, they treat their supplier as the enemy. It's an adversarial relationship. Oh, let's see if we can negotiate lower prices from our supplier. If we put them out of business, so what? We'll get another supplier. That has to stop. It needs to be a marriage. Supply chains are competing against other supply chains for share of wallet or purse. So they need to work and collaborate together to identify mutually beneficial actions, projects, initiatives that can save money, increase cycle time, improve quality for all the trading partners in the chain. And finally, number 8, unfulfilled return on investment promises from large IT systems like ERP systems, enterprise resource planning systems. And the problem here is, excuse me, if you ask a chief information officer, an IT director, 3 years after they've gone to all the effort to implement their ERP system, you ask them, how well do you believe the return on investment has met or exceeded what the ERP software salesman sold you on 3 years ago? Many of them will be hard pressed to say yes. They'll say, wow, we just spent 3 years implementing this system. I'm not sure we've got the payback. That does not mean you shouldn't implement the ERP system. You have to, because your competitors already have implemented ERP. So you need it for a competitive advantage. The problem is ERP systems produce a lot of data, transactional data, but not information. And what the corporate performance management methods do is they convert the data into information And the information provides the insights to basically see what's reality, what's happening, and to make better decisions. And so later when you have your discussion, I'll be interested to know which of these 8 resonated the most with you. And so I would like to conclude with this. I believe that in the past, the most successful executives and leaders had the best answers. Today, I do not think that's the case. Today, I think the best leaders and executives have the best questions. There is too much complexity. There's too much uncertainty. There's too much volatility for them, those leaders, to basically use their intuition or their gut feel or their sixth sense, or the types of answers they had earlier in their career that got them promoted to the high levels they're at. Executives and leaders need to create a culture for investigation and discovery and tolerance for making mistakes, as long as you learn from your mistakes. And this introduces the importance of management accounting, financial planning and analysis, FP&A, analytics, regression, correlation, clustering, all of those tools you may have learned in college and forgotten or just wanted a passing grade, but it's here. Business analytics, financial planning and analysis, driver-based rolling financial forecasts, these are all critical for companies to gain a competitive edge. So I thank you very much for introducing me and allowing me to be your keynote speaker. I leave you with these action steps. Get educated. Thank you very much. You're doing that now. Get buy-in from your managers and employees. Resistance to change is large. You need some soft skills, behavioral change management, to convince them that some of the techniques you want to use are worth it. Rapid prototyping. Start small, think big. You can implement some of these methods in a couple of weeks, not months. If you want to know more about techniques to implement ABC or strategy map balanced scorecard 3 weeks, send me an email. And pay attention to incentives, things like bonuses, compensation, motivational theory. And if you do distribute, Shams, my slides, I have 2 links there that have talked about some of the stuff I talked about today. So I thank you very much for inviting me to be a presenter at your conference. I wish you success with the rest of your conference and meeting today. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Gary, for such an insightful and a thought-provoking presentation. Thank you very much for your presence, and thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Now we are moving towards our panel discussion session. It's my honor and a privilege to introduce our distinguished speakers and panelists for today's. Mr. Hishana Krupu is serving as Vice President, South Asia Federation of Accountants. He has served as Council Member of CA Sri Lanka since 2012. At CA Sri Lanka, he chaired the Finance and Administration Committee, CPT Committee, Relation Committee, Annual Report Committee, National Conference Committee, Board of Management of Schools of Accounting and Business, as well as Business School of Committee, among several other committees. He's also the member of Council of Association of Accounting Technicians of Sri Lanka for the period of 2022 and 2023. Our next panelist is Professor Lakshman R. Vatawala. He is serving as the President, CMA Sri Lanka. Presently, he is the committee member of Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Chairman of Conventions Committee, Director of Richard Paris Co. Private Limited, Co. Limited, Deputy Chairman of Ceylon Limited, Director of Asia Alliance Insurance Co. Limited, Director of Transitional Lanka Reports Solution Private Limited, Council Member for Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka. Besides this, he chairs a number of other portfolios. Thank you very much for joining. Our next panelist is Mr. Tariq Hussain. He's serving as the Chief Executive Officer at Habib Metro Pakistan Limited, House of Habib. He has over 31 years of accounting and finance experience in Pakistan and Canada, leading financial institutions in Pakistan with over 15 years of managing finance functions at CIBC Canada, Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, with over 10 years as a CFO position. He gained an extensive knowledge and experience of banking, corporate leasing, accounting, finance, audit, and end-to-end. Thank you very much for joining. Our next panelist is Mehtabuddin Ahmed, serving as Vice President, ICMA Bangladesh. Mehtabuddin Ahmed is founder of Buildcom Consulting. He is alumni of Harvard Business School and IMB Switzerland. He was a board member of INSEL, Nepal, and also of the Association of Telecom Operation Bangladesh, and a Vice President of Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. Our next panel is Mr. Mohammad Humayun Kabir. He's the member Council of Past President, Institute of Chartered Accountants, Bangladesh, and Technical Advisor of Dhaka Board. Mr. Kabir has over experience of 2 years currently serving as the Chief Financial Officer of a leading ceramic tableware manufacturing exporting company. He's involved with National Board of Revenue as the facilitator of alternate dispute resolution since 2012. He's also associated with Bangladesh German Chamber of Commerce and Industry as director, elected in 2021 to 2023, and a federation of Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Bangladesh Chamber Manufacturing Exporter Association as a member of panel and advisor. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today. Our next panelist is Mr. Sanjay Kumar. He's the Vice President of Institute of Chartered Accountants, Nepal. He's currently serving as Vice President of Institute of Chartered Accountants, Nepal, and also representing ICANN in Seaborn Board. He's also the fellow member of the Institute with over 18 years of post-qualification experience. He has served as elected member of Institute during 2009 till 2012 and served as a member of Audits Standard Board from 2015 to 2018. Thank you very much for joining us today, the entire panelists, and we'll look forward for an insightful discussion. Today's moderator is Mr. Owais Yasin. Sir, I hand over the session to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shams, to helping me out for introducing today's session. And I'm very honorable. It's honor for ICMA to having such multi-dimensional representation from different professions, from different countries. It's an honor for us. It's an honor for our country. Multidisciplinary professionals, it's privilege. And no doubt to say that it's a bouquet of beautiful flowers of accounting profession. Once again, I'm very thankful to foreign delegates for joining in celebration of ICMA. ICMA being responsible for pursuing accounting profession, we have arranged this seminar to be ready for our future. If you can see the slide, this is basically our panel discussion for today's session, and we will cover about these 6 topics, and we have various questions from our various panelists covering these topics. If you see, the topics are already, it's a new challenge for accounting profession as we going towards first challenge, first sentence, digital transformation, how technology is shaping the future of accounting. This is very important, that how much we are ready for the future for digital transformation being an accountant. If we see at number 2, beyond numbers, the evolving role of accountants in business strategy and decision making. No doubt that the accounting professionals are now engaging in senior positions like CEO and chief operating officer. So their strategic role would be also discussed in today's session. Then the most important and most you can say currently highlight topic is sustainability accounting. This is ESG opportunities. Then we shall proceed data analytics and artificial intelligence. As we can see that in initial our guest speaker have very much focusing on this artificial intelligence. So we have also included this. This is our panel discussion. Then we haven't ignored the entrepreneurial accountants, building a thriving practice in today's market. This is very interesting that more than 20% accountants are now proceeding towards their practice in accounting profession like management accounting, CA firms, CMA firms. So we have also covered this topic in our today's session. Sorry. Then most interesting also, rise of remote work, exploring virtual opportunities in the accounting profession. Nowadays, you can see that freelancing is very much having growth in industry. So what opportunities have a person in freelancing? So we have also covered this in our today's session. I'm again very thankful to our panelists. Now I would like to proceed our formal panel discussion towards, I would ask first question from our panelist, Lakshman R. Vatawala. He have, as Mr. Shams have introduced him, that he has very vast experience. So Mr. Lakshman, how have accountants expanded their role beyond traditional financial reporting to contribute to business strategy and decision making? Please give your input.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aves, and I'm also happy that all leading professionals are here. And maybe let me thank the president of ICMAP, Mr. Seshad Ahmad Malik, who's present with us, and of course our own keynote speaker, the keynote speaker who was there, Mr. Gary Kokins. He's been a regular speaker with us on CMA Sri Lanka. Let me also congratulate you on this 73rd Foundation Day, because I don't know whether you remember your foundation days, because CMA Sri Lanka and ICMA Pakistan have one common factor which is common to us, that is CMA Canada. I hope you remember that. That CMA Canada has been closely associated with both our institutes in supporting both our organizations. So let me wish you all the best, and I'm sure that this great webinar that you have introduced will be really something of great importance. Today, as you know, the accountants are really in a very, very difficult situation, because recently I saw an article of the AICPA USA, where they were saying that the number of students who are enrolling have come down very much. So that means the accounting profession, that the sort of topic that you are having today is something that will maybe create a great deal of interest, not only among your members, but all the SAFA countries, as to how we should get together to overcome these problems. So now, one of the questions that you have raised about the strategic business, and as to how the accountants should strategize themselves in order that they can come to a very elevated position about the challenges and opportunities that they have to face, and also how they can face up to this. So I think, as was mentioned by our keynote speaker, and as you really know, the digitalization is really impacting everyone. It's not only the education that has been impacting, but also the business area. The business area, and how the accountants, the management accountants, the chartered accountants, who have to play a very major role. So they have to adjust themselves in this scenario of strategic management. Now, strategy is very important, but today the professional accountant should be someone who is not a theory-based person. Especially in this environment, they have to really help the management in the operational area, in taking them forward, all businesses. That is what we have to remember, the theory put into practice. So the strategy is one area that we can do it. But in addition to that, there are so many changes that are taking place. First, as I said, the digitization, the data analytics, the artificial intelligence. Then people are also scared whether robots are going to take the place of accountants. Now that's another big fear that we are having. Already that has happened in the IT field, in the software industry, the offshore processing, where this has happened, which I think is an item that you are discussing. So I think the online learning is one that has come into place with the, especially with the COVID pandemic, where all our accounting bodies have really played a role. So I think we have, while we have challenges, we have great opportunities, and I'm sure that today at this webinar, which is of great importance to all of us, we will be able to come up with ideas and suggestions as to how we can take this forward.
Yes, you're on mute, I think.
Sorry. Next, I would like to proceed our national speaker, Mr. Tariq Sultan, and who is CEO Habib Metro Pakistan. He's very vibrant member of ICMA Pakistan and serving on a very leading position. So what are the key digital skills that accountants need to acquire to stay relevant in the evolving technological landscape?
Thank you very much, Awais, and thanks for correcting my name. Shams Bhimani introduced me as Tariq Hussain. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to say that I feel really humbled and honored to have been invited by ICMAP to participate in this webinar as a panelist. What I would like to say, in my view, the two most important digital skills in today's world for both the accounting and finance professionals, as well as some other professions also, are, like Mr. Watawala said, big data analytics and artificial intelligence. I will go a little in a little detail about what these two tools can do for us and what should we do. The first step that we need to do is that we need to start getting familiarized with it if we have not already started that, and gain as much knowledge and expertise in both of these as possible. And we should also utilize these in our daily jobs and various job functions. They can be very helpful for us in our jobs, especially the artificial intelligence tool ChatGPT, which is pretty recent. It came in November of 2022. In fact, the first version of it was launched in GPT-1 was launched in June of 2018. And the second version, ChatGPT-2, was launched in February of 2019. And then the third version, ChatGPT-3, was launched in June of 2020, which was called 3. And then the next version, 3.5, was launched in November of 22 last year, which was just about 6 months ago, which was actually launched publicly. So people came to know about it in November of 2022. And then the latest version, which is being used these days, is ChatGPT-4, which has just been launched in March of 2023, so about 2 months ago. And I think they're working on the next version, which will probably be launched in ChatGPT-5 will be launched in 2024, sometime in 2024, maybe in a few weeks or in a few months. That is also possible. So, although these two, I feel that these two skills are the most important, it doesn't at all mean that there aren't any other tools that are important or other skills that are important. These are in addition to those. So there are a number of other skills that are needed. And I will talk a little bit about them. For example, data in data analytics. First, I would like to say that we should be able to use Microsoft Excel at an intermediate and advanced level, and Power BI, business intelligence, or specialized accounting software to extract insights from big data sets of financial data that we have. Different companies have different sizes of data sets. maybe to all those companies which are providing a kind of a universal service to the population at large, for example, telecoms or airline industry or any consumer goods products industry. They may have bigger data sets, and some other companies may have smaller data sets, but whatever financial data sets we have, we can. And by the way, this is not something new. AI is new, of course, and especially ChatGPT. But data analysis, if you think about it, the accountants have been doing it for decades and decades, right? So previously, the only difference is that now it is becoming more and more automated, and now you're utilizing more and more tools to do the data analytics online or on the computer. Previously, it used to be manual data also, and you used to try to make sense out of it. So why do we need to do the data analysis or data analytics is to extract insights from financial data. We can identify trends, and we can forecast future performance based on the past data, and we can then make data-driven decisions. And we should also be able to present. This is also a skill needed. Should also be able to present that data in visually through charts and graphs and dashboards. So the other skills that are important are, for example, cloud computing and software as a service, which enables access to financial data from anywhere, and it facilitates collaboration and ensures data security and data integrity. Then more and more automation is taking place. Again, this is not a new word, but with the development of technology, more and more, it is becoming more and more important, actually necessary, because it saves time, it creates accuracy, it can help you generate reports automatically, and it enhances the efficiency in our financial processes. Then we also need, being accountants and finance professionals, we also need to be aware of the cyber security. So we should know the basic principles as finance professionals. And most of you will agree with me that the companies in which we work, anything related to data and finance and accounting and financial statements, the organization relies on the accounting and finance professionals and asks them about it, and ask for advice also about from them, and ask for solutions also from them if something happens. So we need to know the best practices and the tools on how to implement cybersecurity within our organizations to ensure that not only ensure the protection of data, but also prevention of fraud, and to ensure compliance with the data privacy regulations. In some countries, they have been formally legislated. In some, they have not. In Pakistan, for example, I know that, or I've come to know that a data protection policy draft has been made by the government of Pakistan, and it has been under consideration for the last 5 years. For some reason, it has not been finalized yet and not been promulgated yet. Then I would like to re-emphasize that most of us, although most of us use Excel, but I think most, probably some people will agree with me that most of us use it at quite a rudimentary level, at an introductory level. So we need to increase or enhance our skill of using Excel at the intermediate and advanced level. Only then we will be able to do big data analytics, and we'll be able to use complex formulas and functions of Excel and derive the benefit of using this tool. Then ERP systems, we are very familiar with it. In almost all the organizations, big organizations, ERP systems are there: Oracle, SAP, NetSuite, etc. If some of us who have graduated to higher positions without having much opportunity of using them, I think both we as well as those who are working at junior and mid-level positions, they need to gain more and more knowledge about these softwares, because they help integrate various business processes and streamline the operations. And they, like Gary said, they give you real-time financial information, and they help you in making real-time decisions. Then communication is very important. So, and not just communication in terms of writing emails or reports, but in the modern day world, the team messaging apps are being used a lot. for work purposes such as WhatsApp and other video conferencing is being used a lot. We need to be able to share the documents easily when we are in a Zoom session or in in an online meeting. This helps facilitate the remote collaboration and enhances the communication. Data privacy I already talked about. So one thing in the end I would like to say is that we need to develop a mindset of, even regardless of our stage of career, a mindset of continuous learning and adaptability to stay updated with the emerging technologies and the industry trends and changing accounting practices also. And lastly, but not the least, we need to be aware of the ethical considerations, including data integrity, privacy, and maintaining professional ethics. Developing all these skills can help us leverage technology efficiency effectively, and it can enhance the efficiency of our jobs, our performance, provide valuable insights to support strategic decision making, and to help management lead the company in the right strategic direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Tariq Sultan. Very comprehensive answer. Now, I would like to announce that our State Minister and our ICMAP member, Mr. Ashfaq Ullah, has joined us. And I would like to hand over mic to our MLC, Mr. Shams, to introduce him, and we may have a brief speaking from her.
Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of IC International, our guest of honor, Mr. Ashfaq Ullah. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. He is the Minister of State and Chairman, Reforms Resource Mobilization Commission. Besides this, we are also thankful to Mr. Shahzad Malik, President ICMA Pakistan, for gracing the webinar. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Ashfaq Ullah Sahab to share his views with our participants. Thank you very much, sir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Mr. Shahzad Malik, President ICMAP, Mr. Gary, keynote speaker of today's webinar, a powerful speaker and a panelist for the discussion, Mr. Kurupo, Mr. Watawala, Mr. Matabuddin, Tariq Sultan, Mr. Humayun, Kabir, and our moderator, Awais Yassin, my distinguished fraternity from ICMAP, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is indeed an honor for me to join you. Although I was very busy during the budget preparation, and budget is around the corner, and we are meeting left, right, and center right from 9 a.m. in the morning till 9 p.m. in the evening. And despite my very hectic schedule, when I was called by Shahzad and Asim, I could not resist, and I said, no, I will join you, maybe for a couple of minutes, but I'll join you. I'm happy that ICMAP is organizing this Management Accountants Day, and I think this is a true mark of celebration on the part of ICMAP. It is a regular feature and a flagship event of ICMAP. And today's topic is also very important for the future of accountancy profession. And I think with the elite panel of Mr. Kurupo, very experienced Watawala Saab, Humayun Kabir Saab, Mehtab Saab, and my very seasoned and old-time friend Tariq Sultan, I think member will get many a knowledge, miles of knowledge from today's, and there will be a huge takeaway for everyone. I have my next meeting at 5 p.m. Pakistan time, and I request you to kindly allow me to go. Again, congratulations ICMAP, and thank you, the lead panel, for enlightening the members of ICMAP to gain this knowledge and their experiences, which is maybe more than a century old. Thank you very much, Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for spending your valuable time.
Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tola Sahab. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ashfaq Ullah Sahab. I'm very happy that you have joined us and pair with you for a good budget.
Mola budget. Don't worry. We are trying to facilitate as many organized sector as possible, and inshallah you will hear many good news, which is the need of the hour, where Pakistan economy requires boost. Obviously, we all know that we need a booster. The economy needs a booster. We are facing external financing issues, and hopefully we are coming up with innovative ideas, and hopefully these issues will be resolved, and next year Pakistan will be again a force to reckon with.
Thank you, Tola Sahab, and congratulations on launching the and submitting the interim report of the Reforms and Revenue Mobilization Commission to the Federal Minister for Finance and Revenue, Mr. Ishaq Dar. I saw that report.
That is based on equity, Tariq.
There are some very good recommendations.
Those who are not paying taxes, they are supposed to pay taxes, otherwise they will burden us. So this is something which was a unique masterpiece, which I typed myself in 15 days during the month of Ramadan. So I know I am the honor of conceiving it. Most of the ideas in the report was conceived by myself, and it is my experience of 32 odd years, which I have embedded in this report. So
I wanted to say well done to you. I think you are one of the few state ministers who has submitted a formal report of recommendations to the federal minister.
But let's hope that the industry and the taxpayer digest it. It is a bitter pill to swallow, but let's hope for the best. Thank you very much, Humayun Bhai. I can see you, and I wish you could have been here in ICMA conference. We really enjoyed the weather of Bhutan and courtesy of Shehzad Malik. Thank you, Mr. Kurupo. Thank you, Mr. Watawala, as usual. Thank you, Mehtab Sahab. And thank you, everyone. Pakistan.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We are obliged and thankful. Now, I would like to proceed our next panel discussion. Mr. Hishana Kurupu, he is also Vice President of SAPA currently. My question is, how can accountants effectively collaborate with other stakeholders within organizations to drive business growth and success?
Right. Thank you very much, Awais and Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, Pakistan, and I would like to congratulate on your 73rd Foundation Day. Yeah, so getting back to the question, I think if we understand why sometimes why accountants cannot collaborate, then I think it will provide an answer. So more often what we hear from non-finance people, be it operation or marketing, is you all are analyzing once it happened and then coming up with all the issues. Why not you sit in my role and see how you can do it, because you are doing a post-mortem. So I think that is the role that always get criticized. So with that, I would like to see how we finance people can play a collaborative role by looking at a different role that a finance person can play. So I would like to identify 4 key roles a finance person play, namely value reporter, value preserver, value enabler, and value creator. So those are 4 roles a finance person is supposed to play. But very often what we see is value reporter and value preserver. Value reporter is, as per IFAC, it's storytelling. Or rather, you present what you have achieved and then giving numbers. More than storytelling, so always presenting numbers and reporting. Then value preserver is looking at controls, looking at risk management aspects. So this is the role very often we see played by finance people, which is to do with historical or things that has happened more than futuristic. Where we lack is value enabler and value creator role. So value enabler role is about basically, if you look at value enabler, you are becoming a navigator. You work with your operational teams, looking at decision supportive information. I think our keynote speaker also talked about importance of data. So that is the kind of navigating role, and provide not just information, not just data, provide it in a way that you give more insightful decision-making supportive information and be an influencer. So it is from information to insight and insight to influence. So if that is the role, I think we need to play and become kind of a value creator where you become the drive of change and push for changes, identify transformational opportunities, because when you have that information access across organization, independently finance person can take a view. And they are the only people who see more often the total picture of the business independently. So you and finance person can play that value creator role, as I mentioned, to be the drive agent for the change as well as driving the transformations. So if these two roles, as I mentioned, out of 4 roles, value preserver and value reporter, majority of them are playing, but if we can incorporate other 2 roles and make it more visible, I think we can have a better collaboration with others in the organization. So that's my view.
Thanks, Rupu. This is wonderful and crisp answer from you. I would like to proceed now. Our next panelist, Mr. Humayun Kabir. He is a member council of ICAP and technical advisor to SAFA board currently. The question is, what are the advantages and challenges of remote work for accountants, and how can organizations and professionals adapt to ensure productivity and collaboration? Your mic is mute. You are mute, sir.
Thank you, sir. At the very outset, let me congratulate the ICMAP on your 73rd founding anniversary. All in the same way, my congratulations to all the those are in charge of governance of the institute currently and the past, and also all the members of ICMA Pakistan. Now, coming to your question, sir, to answer it, basically, as all the discussion today said, the accountants are no more a mere number cruncher. And just immediately, Mr. Hassana Kuruppa said, now the role of accountants has become more of strategic as well as, I will say, multidisciplinary one. And obviously, because of these changes that are happening in the business world, and that is technologically led. And because of technology, now that to stay not only accountant, like any other profession, if you face to embed in our area the technology, then obviously the scenario not this is the question of our existence and delivery of the, I will say, the expected role from the business and the stakeholder of the business. This automation and the technology that has greatly contributed to these topics or the question you have raised. During the last pandemic time, and that has become more obvious that working in a remote place from, you see, out of the traditional office, the ability to work from home, from any location outside of the traditional office setting, that has obviously a lot of benefits. First of all, it is cost saving both in employer as well as employee perspective. Employer saves cost because they don't need to pay now rent, utilities bill, and employee also they do not need to come to office location. Therefore, they are saving commuting expenses. But at the same time, that has also have some other benefit also. The benefit of, you see, the flexibility of giving the employees from the employees' perspective, because they have now the time management is more or less, coming to office with a schedule set structure and working from your home, it is your something of some leverage from the own individual. obviously that's ultimately reduce the stress, and that give or yield a benefit for productivity to the organization as well as. Because of this, remote working, now the organization, you can save cost from not unnecessary, you can avoiding the unnecessary meetings, and the employees can maintain a work-life balance, and that's ultimately lead to a increasing retention, employee retention to the employer. Therefore, when employee retention is higher, then obviously your cost of recruitment is also less there. And working remote, that's also enable the employer to go for bigger talent pool, because when you are, say, asking for a limiting a person to coming to office, now it is working remotely means it does not have restrict your location or even country or different. Therefore, that given more flexibility to attract the more, the bigger, more talented people in the union workforce. Obviously, this remote working has, as I was saying, I think Mr. Gary was referring to the carbon footprint, because when you are not coming to office, you are, as I said, because of commuting, lesser number of you are running car, road, and road means you are lesser, you are burning your fossil oil. And obviously also in a company, when you are not having office, you are, I will say that you do not need to spend lesser utility bills. Therefore, that's also giving, ultimately causing to reduce footprint. So these are obviously the advantage of working, the beyond from the traditional office space to remote places, either from home or any other flexibility there. You're beyond your home also, you can work that facility. Obviously, no system or no way of nothing is an only advantage. It has some disadvantage also, both as well as company point of view as well as the employee perspective as well. Disadvantage we can finally, from the company perspective view, you see, this remote working means that you need a strong, your automated system, particularly your all facility has to be cloud-based information system. And that means that when the employee, you have to share your company database, company information with the people working beyond your office. They are on their own computer system. Then you are risking your what we know as the security risk, your computer or overall information system security risk is there. Second, I will say that employee perspective, you see, when you say that it is a flexibility time, you have to balance between your personal life and the office life. That the risk, the employee point of view, your personal and professional life, ultimately, unless it is balanced on, that have a risk that might have a negative effects on your work-life balance. But that can be also checked, because if individually can blur boundaries between work and personal life can be a significant challenge, making it difficult for employees to disconnect and fully engage in personal activities that may be ultimately cause a psychological, that have a negative impact on the productivity of the organization as well. Then the second aspect, I think you are asking about the productivity and collaboration. You see, although working in offline, that is in outside from the office does not mean that you are totally outside of the orbit. You are very much within the team, and obviously the benefit I will say that the collaboration within the team, as well as you see that gives a larger aspect of, I will say, the company can have. You see, when working in away from the office, you are working in a team also. Though team you are connected through by you virtually. That team might be of your product development team or service team or networking team or any other parallel team you are working. And working in a team, that means that you are collaborating. And collaboration that ultimately, I will say that greatly influence to have your right strategies in place, so that ultimately the company's goal, that is whatever they are pursuing, that is done with more effective and efficient manner. So summarily, I will say that now after the latest trend is that many of those are thinking about the more effectiveness of the organization based on only homeworking, or I would say, as you said, that this you're working from outside. Because of considering this drawback, now coming there concluding that let it be there be a hybrid system. That is, without going for 100% on the say homework basis or outside working from the outside, sometimes balance between splitting the time or some days between working, allowing the worker from working from the home or outside from the office, or also making it some days for the coming to the office, so that the benefit are maybe maximized and the disadvantage can be offset. That's to answering to your question today. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Humayun Kabir. Now, I would like to proceed our guest from Nepal, CA Sujan Kumar. He's the Vice President of ICANN. I would like to ask question, what opportunities exist for accountants to establish and grow their own successful practice in the current business environment? So we are focusing on for practicing members, to how they can grow their business in a country like Nepal or otherwise. What are your suggestions?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yasin. Thank you for providing this opportunity to speak about the something on this webinar. First of all, I would like to congratulate ICMA Pakistan for 73rd Foundation Day and organizing this webinar on exploring the opportunity for accounting professional. I'm also thankful for Gary Cousin for presenting the very wonderful paper, which gave us very insightful thought to all of us. When we talk about the opportunities for the professional accountants in the Nepal, we are, in the South Asia region, we have lately started the professional accountant body. So far, we have near about 2,000 professional accountant registered in the institute, and informally another 1,000 professional accountant may have worked outside the institute or working in the Nepal. Out of that, we can say that near about 10% of the total members, including outsiders, maybe out of the Nepal, working anywhere in the globe. So main opportunity for the professional accountant in the Nepal is growing economy. GDP size is also growing. So by the virtue of that, audit universe in the Nepalese economy is also growing. So new ventures and new incorporations are going increasing trend since few years, except in the COVID pandemic. So most of the professional accountant practicing here are involving in the traditional business like auditing and accounting here in Nepal. We have a very few professional accounting practicing firms who are providing this kind of service to the clients of the Nepals. In addition to that, in addition to traditional auditing practice, they are providing the consulting management consulting, tax consulting, and other advisory services as per the requirement of the client, as the requirement of the other government body. In addition to that, they are also involving in the IT and IT auditing sector. They are also doing this is also new opportunity for the Nepalese accountant, Nepalese professional accountant in this environment. Similarly, practice accountants have opportunity on preparation of the business plans and providing the suggestion and management consultancy on that point. So many of the accountants are those practicing are involving on this area also. They are providing the service on this area also. There is also very good opportunities for the newcomers as well as the old ones. So it is the best opportunity they are providing to the clients. And another opportunity for the Nepalese professional accountant, they are providing for the outsourcing of the accounting or other service on behalf of the foreign entities. Anywhere in the globe, as per the maybe the costing factor, in other factor, they are looking for the services from the Nepalese professionals. Due to the timing difference, either in other effect, they are getting the services from the Nepalese professional accountants. There is also chance to grow to the Nepalese professional accountants. In addition to that, we have started the risk-based analysis and fraud investigation in the Nepal. ICANN is also providing the different courses for the fraud investigation regularly and providing the different classes for the risk-based audit. That is also growth opportunity for the Nepalese professional accountants. Newcomer, especially newcomer personal accountant, have also involved in the software development. We can say that the IT sector, plus they are providing the audit practice software and other type of software, locally based other type of software. They are providing the service to the Nepalese professional accountant. And few of them, especially in newcomer, are also working on the ESG, environment, social and government issues, and sustainability area. Some professional accountants are also providing the service and started to provide the service in the ESG and sustainability. These are the some areas that the Nepalese accountant or Nepalese contest, we can say that we are working on that. There is opportunity to grow on this area that the Nepalese professional accountant are providing. This is from the Nepalese perspective. In addition to that, Nepalese accountant are also looking the opportunity from the abroad, especially those who wants to go the job. So these are the some areas that Nepalese professional accountants are providing giving the opportunity or providing the opportunity in the Nepal. Thank you for this
Thank
session.
you, Mr. Sujan. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your wonderful thoughts and wonderful idea about the business in Nepal. Now, I would like to proceed to our panelist from Bangladesh, Mr. Mahtabuddin Ahmed. He is also the Vice President of ICMA Bangladesh. My question is, how are accountants leveraging data analytics and artificial intelligence in their roles to drive valuable insights and improving decision making?
Thank you very much. First of all, thanks to the organizers. I'm very pleased to be part of this conversation today. I've got good connection with Pakistan. I spent 3 years of my career in Unilever, Pakistan, so I've got a lot of fond memories there. So I was enjoying the discussions thoroughly. First of all, in my view and my experience in Bangladesh and other countries where I've worked in recent times, I don't think accountants are leveraging data analytics reasonably well. But they depend on, on data engineers and data statistics. Because I was in telco, in case of telecom sector, the accountants were forced to adapt to this analytics. But I have not seen enough of initiative from the accountant side to learn and contribute through data analytics. So to answer you very straight away in summary form, I don't think I've seen enough of adaptation of analytics and artificial intelligence in the day-to-day job in our organizations. And I don't think Bangladesh is any different. But as I said, the sector that I'm talking about, where I have worked most of my time, in telecom sector, it is heavily being used. And I can tell you every year, we spend a couple of $1 million to improve our big data capability, AI analytics, augmented reality, cloud computing, everything. So, and it is never enough. So if I bring that in a bigger perspective of big data, I know AI is only one part of it, data analytics is one part of it. So if we bring the big picture of big data and everything encompasses into that, and as I said, that it encompasses cloud computing, automation, and all this stuff. And when I say automation, it's no more the traditional automation we talk about. It is, we call intelligent automation. So automation is with AI. Originally we used to do just replicating the existing model. So things have got very, very different in recent times. So intelligent automation that we have to talk about whenever we talk about automation. So only then I think we can face the challenges ahead of us. One thing I really believe in, technology will support, not replace accountants. I believe in that. But if we are ready for it, if we are ready for the risk that we see ahead of us. So I'm still like I'm just debating a bit from there, from your question, simply because you need to understand, if you don't adapt to it, if you don't start using our analytical skill, using all these technologies available with us today, there is a serious risk to our profession. And that includes, so as I said, if we adapt to it, we don't have to worry about our future job. But if we are not aware of it, there is definitely a lot of challenges we'll be facing. Now, if I come to the another point, in the digital transformation journey, there is another element that has come and which is impacting our business, which is virtual reality, artificial augmented reality, and mixed reality technologies. Actually, it is impacting heavily our way of analyzing data, exploring data, and sharing of data. As an accountant, we need to understand that. And again, even in this area, very few accountants have come across who has enough understanding and knowledge. So if we don't have that, again, we'll be in trouble. We'll become irrelevant to the organizations. And other thing is, I think there's a kind of competition I can see. Often I see it's not the accountants who are turning out to be a well-known expert analytics. Often I see engineers are coming out, maybe IBA graduates are coming out to be better analytics than them. It's nothing, not because of the analytics skill of the accountants. It's primarily because others are more tech savvy. And that's helping, helping them to take a bit of position from accountants. So this is another place I think we have got inherited skill and knowledge and competency to do a good analytic person. But if we don't do it fast, we don't adapt to these new technologies fast, we may fall behind. And one last thing, I think some of the speakers have already talked about ESG. It's a new opportunity. And one piece of comment for my audience, look, the change is very, very fast. When the people talk about 4IR, 3IR, those are, days of past, where every 25, 30 years we have seen changes taking place. But now changes taking place every 1 to 2 years. Even 3 months back, ChatGPT was not there in our horizon. We knew about AI, but therefore our rapid change of knowledge has to be higher than change of technological changes happening. If you don't, as an accountant, if you're not adapting to it and understanding it and making ourselves ready for it, I think we have a challenge. Otherwise, I see there are many ways these technologies can help us, an accountant, to leverage and contribute to the society, contribute to the country, contribute to the business, and therefore we remain relevant to the future businesses. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Mehtabuddin, on highlighting the importance of technological change as digitalization. Now, I would like to ask a question from Gary Calkins, because he's present here, and we should have more benefit from his skills and his knowledge. So I would like to question from Gary Calkins: what impact stands that data involves and financial monitoring, auditing, and fraud detection in your respective countries.
Could you repeat that question? The impact of what?
What impact does big data have on financial reporting, auditing, and fraud detection? Big data analysis on financial reporting, auditing, and fraud detection. How can it be used for these three categories?
It's the impact is substantial. When it comes to fraud detection, the power of technology, big data, data science, however we want to refer to it, it can detect anomalies, outliers in real time, instantly. So if there is a clerk or some employee or employees are fraudulently trying to steal money and there are techniques, three-way control, payables, invoicing, the detection can be immediate. Big data, just the power of the computer, this is happening in our lifetime. We have to remember that. The old day when I was a division controller, age 27, and we were doing bookkeeping manually at that point in time. So I don't think I'm adequately answering your question about the impact that big data. I give you an example would be, fraud detection. When it comes to analysis, it's sort of similar. Comparison of actual to budget. Budgets are always plans. And then as you experience the reporting, you want to evaluate, well, what's the deviation between what we expected and what really happened? Okay, well, in the old days, it'd be, all right, well, it was an unfavorable variance of, X $1,000. But now we can dig deeper, drill down to, all right, that was the variance, but what explained the variance? What was the granular detail? What transaction? What event? What purchase? So it's powerful. Hey, before I do want to say hi to Lakshman Watawala. He's been so kind to have me come to Sri Lanka, ICMA Sri Lanka. And when I saw that he appeared, and I loved his remarks, actually. So, Lakshman, I'm just saying hi to you. I want to make another remark. I had another appointment after I did my presentation, but I canceled it. I said, I think I want to listen in. Every presenter has been so impressive to me. And, sometimes I think in the USA, you think, oh, underdeveloped countries, they're backwards. They're, they're like in the Stone Age. Every single talk, Tariq, I took notes from your presentation. I said, that was fantastic. The 4 value things. I'm going to shamelessly steal that and write articles on it. So I was impressed by every single one of the panelists and their remarks and observations. So, congratulations. You can underdeveloped countries that I don't consider all of you underdeveloped. You can accelerate like in a race and move past the developed countries like the UK or Germany, because you've got momentum. So you run faster and beat them at the well, there is no finish line, but at least you can get ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, Gauri Perkins, for your good remarks. Now I would like to proceed our next panelist from Sri Lanka, Lakshman R. Watawala. My question from you is that what challenges and opportunities exist in integrating environmental, social, and governance factors into financial reporting and decision making?
Yeah, thank you. Let me thank Mr. Gary Cookings. I think he's been our close dear friend, and he's also got our membership, and one of our valued members. So I'm sure he's been a very, very great player in the management accounting profession. Now, on the topic that you have mentioned, I just want to tell you, because the CMA Sri Lanka, we have been really one of the pioneers in the international integrated reporting framework, where we have been recognizing companies on integrated reporting. Now that's one of the areas that we really have been starting. And now today, there has been a lot of changes that have taken place. If you really look at the integrated report, it really focuses on the ability of an organization to create value over the short, medium, and long term. And one of the important things on integrated reporting is that we talk of integrated thinking, the active consideration by an organization of the relationships between its various operational and functional units and the capitals that the organization uses. So what they feel is that integrated thinking has helped integrated reporting a long way. And some of the key areas that have made integrated reporting successful is, of course, its guiding principles and the content elements, which the guiding principles goes into the strategic focus and future orientation, connectivity of information, stakeholder relationships, then the materiality, conciseness. Now, that's a very important thing in reporting because you should have a concise report. And that's where, which has been greatly recommended by the the Integrated Reporting Framework. Then the reliability and completeness and the consistency and the comparability. Then the other one, of course, is the content elements, which goes into speaking to the organization on overview and an external environment, the governance, the business model, risk and opportunities, strategy and resource allocation, performance outlook, and the basis of preparation of accounts. Now, recently or some time back, what has happened is that we have now found that the international IIRC has linked up, or IIRC and SASB, the Sustainability Accounting Standards, has come together. And they formed what was called the Value Reporting Foundation. Now, thereafter, the Value Reporting Foundation has now consolidated with the IFRS Foundation, and they have now formed the International Sustainability Standards Board. Now, we are now going very much onto the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, because the sustainability disclosures in the financial statements was taken up at the COP26 that was held in Glasgow. So today the sustainability risks and opportunities have been very, very important. And some of the 4 key objectives have been to develop standards for a global baseline of sustainability disclosures, to meet the information needs of investors, to enable companies to provide comprehensive sustainability information to global markets. So this is a very important area that we are now treading. So the area that you spoke on is the challenges and opportunities of integrated environmental, social, and governance factors into financial reporting and decision making. Now, because today the one of the areas is that, of course, the public interest. Now, all of us are really interested, and we have a duty towards good disclosure for public interest. So, what I have mentioned now, Sustainability Accounting Standards Board and now the International Accounting Standards Board are going to play a very important role, because even in the World Economic Forum, this was taken up for stakeholders, capitalism, which has been taken up. So we really feel that this is going to be a very important area, and the environmental, social, and governance factors mainly with the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, where now the IFAC is now going to play a leading role. Earlier, if you take the IIRC, that was really managed separately, but they were really on the board. But now the IFAC has taken over the responsibility, and the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board is going to, and they've already announced and they've given sustainability accounting standards for industry sectors. So I think management accountants and chartered accountants and everyone will have to now be very much involved in the sustainability accounting standards. And I'm sure that this would be something that the other speakers will also maybe bring into focus.
Yasin Sahab, you are on mute.
I must appreciate Mr. Gary Kokans, and second also that all the panelists, all the speakers have very wonderful insight on the topic, and they are very amazing answers from all of you. I must appreciate. Now I would like to proceed Mr. Tariq Sultan because he have a long association with the entrepreneurs. So my next question would be, how has technology such as automation and cloud computing impacted the accounting profession in Pakistan?
Thank you, Esab. I personally think in a very big manner, very significantly, maybe not as much in Pakistan as the world over, but in other parts of the world. But even in Pakistan, I think the technology at various stages of its evolution has impacted the accounting profession, just like many other professions, in a big way. And I'll give you concrete examples of that. So first of all, we talked about automation, right? So it has helped us, or it has over the past many years, automated many of the routine tasks that previously were being done manually. For example, data entry, report generation, transaction reconciliation. So the benefit of which was that it has helped in reducing the errors and it has increased the efficiency, of course. Then there is robotic process automation. Now, this robotic process automation, some of you may feel that it's a kind of a new term and it's not there in Pakistan, but it is there, very much there, especially in the automobile industry, in pharma industry, in sports goods industry. By the way, Pakistan produces one of the probably the best football in the world, which is also used in the FIFA Cup matches. A lot of its processes are automated or robotic process automated. Then, because of the use of technology, the accuracy of data has increased, the errors have reduced, and the integrity of data, because of using various software and digital tools, has become more and more reliable. Then, of course, it has helped us in increasing the efficiency and productivity. And I will once again refer to what Gary Kokans said, that it gives us real-time financial insights. It facilitates better decision-making because you're getting the data in real time. And I'm sure that, no one other than the accounting professionals and finance professionals know that when data comes with a lag to you, it frustrates you because you're not able to make quick decisions and you're not able to make good informed decisions because of the lack of the data that you really want to see and the analysis you want to see. Then, of course, the automation has and the technology has helped us in terms of all those tools that I talked about in the answer of the previous question, especially ERPs. It has helped us in improving our reporting and in improving our compliance. Then the technology has also helped us in reduce our costs in the sense that all the manual tasks have gotten automated, and which has saved us time, and it also lowers the operational cost. But also, if you look at the cloud-based solutions, they have eliminated the need for extensive IT infrastructure investments, allowing for modularity, scalability, and cost-effective access to tools. Then you know that in cloud-based and software as a service solutions, the smaller companies previously were not able to develop such infrastructure on their own because of lack of enough resources. But now, because of these two developments, it has come in the reach of even the smaller companies to use these services. It also helps, the cloud-based solution helps reduce your cost of data storage and backup. And it minimizes not just your cost, but also the risk of data loss due to hardware failures or disasters. Then the technology, like Mr. Humayun Kabir of ICAP, and I'm very glad to see a chartered accountant also participating in our webinar from Pakistan, mentioned very elaboratively that it helps improve, technology has helped improve our ability to remotely work. And it has not just helped the corporate accountants and people to work remotely, but also has created opportunities for accountants in Pakistan to provide services remotely, even to companies of other countries. I know one of my former bosses in one of my previous jobs, who after retirement developed a consulting firm, and he's not even a professional certified accountant, but he is very highly qualified. And mashallah, he's providing accounting services to many companies in the UK, right from Pakistan, and he doesn't have any office or setup in the UK. Likewise, the technology, with the advent of technology and the fast developments that are taking place there, like Mr. Watawala said, that the change is very, very fast. The things that used to take 20-25 years to change in the past are now taking maybe a couple of years or even a few months, like we have seen in the case of ChatGPT's development. It encourages all the finance professionals for whom continuing professional development is a requirement anyways, is now they really feel the need to develop themselves and upgrade themselves, which actually results in their professional growth, and it opens up new career opportunities for them. So all of these technology has helped us in all of these ways. When it comes to client experience, I think because of the better use of technology, generating information in the real time, making decisions in the real time based on that information, collaborating with accountants remotely, and receiving reports quickly, this also enhances the client experience. The point is kind of more relevant for the practicing accountants, but also for the corporate accountants who are providing services, where the accountant's role is such that they are involved in providing some service to the clients. So I think it improves their service delivery also, and it strengthens the client relationship and increases the satisfaction of the clients. So accountants who have embraced technology and adopted their skills accordingly are very well positioned to thrive in the evolving digital landscape of accounting in our country and also world over. And those of us who either did not have the opportunity or enough appreciation of the need for upgrading ourselves may, like one of the speakers said, I can't recall, I think maybe Watawala Saab, that may face challenges in future. Thank you. Again, you're on mute, please.
Thank you, Mr. Tariq Sultan. Very wonderful insights of the questions. I'm pleased that the session is live on Facebook and LinkedIn, and approximately 500 audience across the globe of this session. So congratulations to all organizers and panelists who such fruitful knowledge for all the participants. And again, I'm thankful to the panelists that they have given very fruitful answers of the questions, and audience are enjoying these answers. Now I would like to proceed Mr. Humayun Kabir from Bangladesh. How can accountant effectively market their services, differentiate themselves, and build a strong client base?
Once again, thank you. Just my thought on the questions will be like this, when you're talking about marketing and any product or services, we think for like in a traditional way of thinking of advertising. But the accounting, particularly for the reporting purpose, for those who are practicing chartered accountant, for them in this part of this world, somewhere the marketing of their profession or delivery of services was restricted. But given the IFAC now, the ethics that has come in a limited way of opening up, but generally other services, consultancy, broadly the advisory services are open. It is like any other services, then accounting services there. Obviously, marketing, you have to, the essentially centering on a goal, and for what goal you are going to market your services. So this goal setting is the core for any marketing strategy. And obviously, the famous, the short term one everybody remember, it's called SMART. For setting up any marketing strategy, the SMART, that is this marketing strategy should be specific, that should be measurable, that must be achievable, that must be realistic, time bound. Like these are in short term, what we call is SMART. Therefore, whenever anybody asks for any business marketing, you have to centering on engineering around these SMART goals. Just for an example, if say any accountancy firm or providing services want to increase his bottom line, that is profit, by 10% in a year, realistic goal, and it's also time bound, which is essential. To make it smart, one need to break it down into smaller steps, such as expanding your social media presence, devising new social media ads, and measuring the result. Obviously, this marketing tools when you are using, from the tradition, as I said, what are the new areas I have just shared with you, like digital marketing option, including email marketing or search engine marketing or social media marketing or content marketing, whatever digital, I will say that approach you take. One of the common mistake, normally it is said that about accounting, those are providing the services, they make a mistake. Most of the the digital formatting after serving that, it appears that they are marketing strategy focusing on their more or less their competing firms or competitors. Actually, for more effective marketing strategy, to me, it should be focusing on the client, that is your prospective stakeholder to whom you will deliver your services. The focus, instead of from the competitor, if we focus on the own is ability, how did the firm itself is edging over its competitor, and more effective will be to deliver is the strength of its delivering this service. Therefore, instead of focusing on the competitor, you have to be more to adopt a marketing that will help you is out your competitor. But victory in the digital market is not just about beating the competition. It is about serving your client, whether by email marketing or social media marketing or search engine advertising. Your potential clients are out there and they want to hear from you. Most importantly, they want to know they can trust you. Therefore, these are I will say that if the marketing strategy, if you based on your focusing on your service, your strength, and obviously the digital, either of any of the option you are taking, and that has to base on your SMART strategy. That's my answer, sir, to you. Thank you.
You're muted, Awais.
I would like to again apprise the panelists and speakers that keeping view of the importance of the topic, the audience have put more than 100 questions from our panelists, but unfortunately, we may not take all questions, but definitely we should take few questions from the audience, and one from Gary Cochins, which will take a few time. I would like to proceed towards our speaker, our panelist from Sri Lanka, Mr. Hashana Krupu. The question is, how can the adoption of digital tools and technologies enhance the efficiency and accuracy of accounting process?
Yeah, I think I would like to first categorize broadly these technologies. I think we discussed even previously technologies impacting finance and accounting profession. So I would like to use this acronym. This is not something that I have developed, but it is commonly used: ABCD. A for artificial intelligence, B for blockchain, C for cybersecurity, and D for data analytics. So A, B, and D are creating this cybersecurity issue. So I think accountants will have to have this technology aspects in mind. Those ABCDs, then we know how it is going to have impact and how do we improve our efficiency. So if you take artificial intelligence, I think I'm not going to talk much about artificial intelligence. Some of our speakers talked about it, but definitely with latest development happening, now natural language processing is possible. I'm not sure how many of you are following Microsoft recently. I think they have now, they are in the process of executing Copilot artificial intelligence platform. 600 organizations are currently, I think, testing it. And then if your time permits, I request some of you to go to their website and see the amazing things that are going to come our way. Simply, I think Mr. Tariq as well as Mr. Ahmed mentioned that finance professionals are not taking the ownership for data, or we are not doing enough. I'm sure with Copilot, I don't think you will require a finance person or a data analytics specialist to do it, because what they are coming up when you listen to some of these areas is natural language. You can present your Excel information, Excel data, and just ask a question in natural language. So Copilot will provide you the analytics and answers. So each and every question that we ask from a data analytics person will now be answered by the AI itself. So I'm sure those things will have a huge efficiency improvement. Then blockchain, which is a decentralized digital ledger, definitely is going to create more secure environment as well as accuracy ensured. So you don't have fraud issues because there is always a track. Then coming to data analytics, as I mentioned, we talked about it. With some of these technological advancements, data analytics will become a day-to-day exercise. I'm sure predictive analytics will come into play, because at the moment, if you are doing a predictive analysis, you need a lot of statistical understanding and model building required. But with natural language processing, that will be a day-to-day function that we will be doing. I'm hopeful that within next 6 months, we will see all these advancements happening. So with these two, obviously our accuracy levels and efficiency will improve. Then comes cyber security aspects, where finance professional will have a key role to play, because again, if you lose data, you are going to have efficiency issues as well as sustainability issues of the business. So that is where I think we'll have to have some level of understanding relating to cyber security and risk relating to cyber aspects. How do you protect our financial data, prevention of data breaches, what are the compliance and regulatory issues that may come our way, prevention of frauds and protecting intellectual property. So those are some aspects through cybersecurity space that we need to concentrate, obviously due to accuracy, compliance, as well as efficiency relating to our profession. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hashana Krupu. Now I would like to proceed our next speaker from Bangladesh, Mr. Mehtabuddin Ahmed. How has the COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the adoption of remote work in the accounting profession in Bangladesh?
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's already some bit discussed today. I think the adoption was quick and fast. And interestingly, I don't think we adapt to it, but the environment forced us to accept it. I don't think we had any choice. Honestly speaking, if we are given a choice, we would have debated about it and not accept it. So I think a lot of credit from my perspective, I give it to the situation which forced us to adapt to that COVID environment and accept that working from home or working from remote places. So I think let's accept that fact, because otherwise we are always try to fool ourselves, thinking, okay, we adapted to this environment and that's how we are showing and demonstrating agility. But in reality, the nature is showing agility and we are forced to accept that. The other one is it took only a few months to get used to it. Initially, we were a bit lost. And then as we were getting used to it, we started accepting it. And it's a human nature. We resisted till the time we realized that it is inevitable for us. And that's exactly what happened to us as well. And I don't think it is a country specific, it's a global phenomenon. Initially, a lot of people resisted it and they were a bit at a loss what to do. And eventually they gradually accepted it. And one of the biggest enabler which actually helped us to make it happen was connectivity. Had the country had not been having good broadband or mobile connectivity, it would have been practically impossible to face that challenge. So I think a couple of few good enabler really helped us to encounter this challenge and helped us to adapt to it. The other thing that I would like to highlight here, which is very critical, that accountant job is not only to do the desk job and do the analytical job. They have to do a lot of external job to handle as well. So, for example, dealing with the tax people. It's not only doing the taxation file or doing the taxation assessment, engaging with the consultants, engaging with the tax officials. I'm just using as an example, is also a critical part. The point I'm trying to make is external engagement for accountants are equally important. And during this pandemic time, this one part was not handled very, very well. Well, remote accounting brought a lot of good things, but this is one area got neglected. And another thing I would say, and I've seen during COVID period, almost 2 years, the way everyone worked, particularly the accountants, we were more productive, interestingly. During that time, we figured out we are doing far more job in terms of volume than ever before. And the quality of job was also quite good. But it resulted in burning out at different people's level. I've realized because they started working 24 hours, there was no timing as such. So another hindsight, you may say benefit, but at the same time, negative side of it, people lost their, some people say that work-life balance improved, but I've seen for many cases, actually it was not the case. The bosses were taking liberty of calling meeting whenever they want or according to their convenience, and the number of meetings went up drastically. The hindsight is, actually we started reduce waste of time on the road, traffic, or in parties and all this stuff. So whatever time is saved out of from those places, some workaholic people, and mostly those accountants are considered to be mostly workaholic, they actually redeployed the time on the job rather than in the family. So I don't think that many of our accountants, at least from Bangladesh perspective, what I've seen, it was a great opportunity for many to use that as an opportunity to improve work-life balance. But unfortunately, I have not seen that enough here, but I've seen that happening in developed world. So in summary, I think as a profession, we have adapted to it, maybe forcefully, but we did wonder facing that situation and contributed to the organization. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Mehtabuddin. Next question from I will pick one of our audience. Mr. Ayaz Shokat has specifically question from Mr. Gary Calkins. Sir, the question is, as we are moving from Web 2 to Web 3, and the information is going on the blockchain, so what are the, you can say, threads, what are the new innovations while using the auditing firms, blockchain technology? So please give your insight on this question.
Actually, blockchain is not an area that I have much expertise on. So I don't have a good answer. I will say though that the AI tool like this ChatGPT is increasingly going to be powerful. It's unrelated to the question to me, but the ability to actually generate reports and draft things is phenomenal. I'm going to need to go, but if I'd like to do a couple of closing remarks. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to answer the question. Maybe other people, can talk about blockchain, Mahtab, you just did. I'm going to debate Mahtab, though, about something that you just said about that external statutory reporting is important. Yes, it's important, but my experience, and I've been to India 5 times. I've been to Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, all of it. In India, and I believe this may affect all of your neighboring countries, there is way too much emphasis on external statutory reporting. It's an imbalance. All of these rules, generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, we need to shift the imbalance towards management accounting, because external statutory reporting, in my mind, it's simply valuation, inventory valuation, cost of goods sold. But what management accounting information is, creating value through the insights and better decisions, creating value for shareholders and owners. And I've been all over the globe. In your parts of the country, that imbalance is more extreme than anywhere else I've seen in the world. So it's not that it's not important to do tax accounting and chartered accounting and all that stuff, but we need to lift management accounting because it's more important. The value of management accounting exceeds the value of external statutory reporting. And then let me end on this. If anybody remembers anything I've said, remember this. In the absence of facts, anybody's opinion is a good one. In the absence of facts, anybody's opinion is a good one, but usually the biggest opinion wins, which is the opinion of the boss or the boss of the boss. So to the degree those higher level executives are making decisions on intuition or gut feel or their sixth sense or flawed and misleading information, the organization's at risk. We need to provide fact-based information. Thank you again for inviting me to present.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to proceed our last question from our Nepal panelist. How can accountants help organizations identify and seize sustainability-related opportunities while managing associated risks?
Thank you very much. When we talk about the sustainability, we have to talk about the ESG. Normally, ESG is rule-based compliance reporting. Many countries have followed that about the rule-based reporting. When we talk about the environment, we can talk about the greenhouse emission, greenhouse gas emission or air pollution, climate changes, water management, deforestation, etc. And when we talk about the social issues, we'll be talking about the social well-beings, working condition, employment benefit, gender diversity, etc. And when we talk about the governance, we will be talking about the business ethics and ethical standard and so on. This is a new area. We can explore the many more opportunities under this umbrella. We can explore many more opportunities under this umbrella. As per information, we can say that nearly 58 countries are working either on sustainability or ESG, and either they have a reporting system. So those countries who have already opened the avenues for the sustainability or ESG, they have a lot of opportunities to provide the services under this umbrella. And there are those which countries are not working or which are in pipeline to open the ESG and sustainability reporting. they have also very good opportunity to provide the different avenues for the professional accountants. Even though we have a lot of risks associated with the sustainability, but we can minimize it, we can manage it, and we can
Shams, I
There is
think
some internet
the
connectivity
speaker has
yeah.
disconnected.
Yes.
So now I would like to conclude the session with the bundle of thanks to all the panelists. I have a few more questions, but due to shortage of time, we have to conclude the session. We have a very wonderful session. I am very thankful. I express my gratitude to all the panelists. Very dynamic and multi-dimensional questions, and very fruitful and full of knowledge answer from all the panelists. We are obliged to all the speakers, to all the panelists, especially who have joined us from across the globe. And it's honor for ICMA. And we hope that in future we shall unite together again for such a wonderful session. Anyone if want to add or give any remarks? Yes, Tariq Sultan, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I have two things. First of all, about the questions, you said there were 100+ questions. So I would like to make a suggestion. If it is possible for the institute, they can do that, and maybe the participants will benefit more. Please send these questions to the panelists, and the panelists can choose to answer a few questions, especially if there are directed questions. Number one. Number two, I wanted to take this opportunity to say something about the practicing accountants. Some of you.
Sir, if you can just unmute your mic. Your mic is. Tariq, sir, if you can just unmute your mic.
Tariq sir, your mic is mute. Tariq sir, your mic is mute.
Sorry about that. I think it got muted by mistake, inadvertently. Okay, so I wanted to say something about the practicing accountants. They can consider that. There were two reports. One is a little old, but still relevant till 2030, called a research report by Korn Ferry, and it is about the employment opportunities in the technology area, since this whole session was about technology. And it says that by 2030, 85 million technology jobs can go unfilled. This gives a big opportunity to all the people working in the technology domain, especially in the training all over the world, to develop human resource in those technology areas of which there is dearth of professionals all over the world, including United States of America. At one point, they could not find enough AWS professionals. At another point, they could not find enough AI professionals. So this AI is going to grow big time, although there has been a caution given by both Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking against it, because its use can also be harmful. But if it is used for productive purposes, it can be very useful also. So I think personally, it's a great opportunity for practicing accountants in Pakistan and also in other parts of the world, especially from the countries from where the distinguished panelists are participating. Second thing that I wanted to talk about was the quite recent report by World Economic Forum called Markets of Tomorrow. There are 19 tables given in that report, and out of those, in those 19 tables, various technologies. They surveyed 193 countries, including Pakistan, and they asked some questions. The most important question was which technology is that country placing the highest emphasis on for the next year or a few years to develop. And you will be surprised to know, and I was shocked to see this, that Pakistan's name was in none of those tables. So Mishal Pakistan was the partner institute from Pakistan which worked with World Economic Forum to carry out that survey in Pakistan. And I fail to understand why no emphasis, or at least Pakistan's name did not come in any of those tables. Even Bangladesh, the name of Bangladesh appeared in one of the tables as the country placing a very high emphasis on a certain technology. So just wanted to leave you with this food of thought. And somebody said in the beginning that this webinar is going to be very thought-provoking. I think this webinar should be very action-provoking for all our members of the Institute of Cost Management Accountants, as well as if the members of the other bodies of which the representatives are speaking here have spoken here today, if they also participated, that they shall think about the latest technologies which are relevant to their job functions, to their industries, to their companies, and they shall make an effort to increase their proficiency and knowledge of those digital tools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tariq Sultan. I would like to add that we have audience and participants from across the globe, and I would like to add that President of ICMA Bangladesh have also joined as an audience, and he has congratulated to ICMA Pakistan and all the panelists as well. Now I would like to proceed, Mr. Shams Behmi, to proceed further in the session.
Right. So with your permission, we can request Sajid Kumar to continue his talk. He is free to join us.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Distinguished guests and participants of the webinar, Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. I extend my warmest greetings to all of you at this webinar, which is organized by National CPD Committee of ICMA as part of the Institute's 73rd Foundation Day celebration, which took place on 23rd May 2023. I appreciate the efforts of Mr. Awais Yassin, Chairman CPD Committee, for taking this initiative and his committee. I express our gratitude to Mr. Ishfaq Yusuf Tola, Minister of State and Chairman of the FBR Reforms and Resource Mobilization Committee, and the fellow member of ICMA for graciously accepting our invitation to join us as this esteemed guest of honor, and submitted his formal report as described by Tariq Sultan Sahab on budget to the Finance Ministry. We are immensely grateful to Mr. Gary Cockens, founder and CEO of Analytic-Based Performance Management USA, for graciously accepting our invitation to the keynote speaker for today's webinar. His expertise and insights will undoubtedly enrich our discussion and provide valuable perspectives on the topic at hand. Gary Cockens, with his vast experience, has wonderfully explained the importance of management accounting system, its reliability, AI for decision making. Mr. Watewala mentioned about CMA Canada and its association with us. And now today we have also that our ICMA Chairman Canada branch is also sitting with me, and he just reached today, and he's sitting with me. Mr. Zia Mehboob, you just give your view, and then I will continue. Like briefly after space. Hello,
Thank you very much. Sorry for this hateful entry. I apologize. Thank you very much, everybody. I mean, it was more of a social call. I came here just to meet old friends, and I was surprised by this, and they just pulled me in. And I feel very lucky and honored to, benefited from all of your expert opinions, your experience, and the way you have elaborated all the impact of this technological changes and all this AI thing, and how the paradigm shift is impacting the management accountant field. So I'm really honored to be part of this. I was listening and enjoying. I was counting my luck that how fortunate I am that the day I choose to be here to meet all you wonderful people. So I really, really thank you all. And bless you all. Really, I benefited most. Thank you.
Mr. Zia Mahboob. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we recently met Mr. Hassan Krupu, Vice President Safa, and also Mr. Lakshman Watewala. He visited Pakistan in our conference at Durban. Also, Mr. Tariq Sultan, definitely our senior member. And we missed Humayun Kabir Sahab and other our Bangladesh and Nepal members. We invited them, but somehow they cannot join us. And it was a wonderful, conference. Mega event was in Pakistan, and most of our in the presence of IFAC president. Dear friends, Tariq Sultan Sahab discussed about ChatGPT and cybersecurity and use of ERP, and which is a very much important nowadays. And we are also looking how we can meet the whatever is going on in a speedy way, and we want to catch it. And that's why we are arranging different conferences and also webinars so that our members should benefit from the experts from all over the globe. And in the same line, Watewala Sahab explained about the role of ESG sustainability along with IT environment, and we have detailed discussion in the last mega event also. And here I must say, opportunities for accountants. I am true believer of the well-known saying, with every challenge comes the opportunity. With increased transparency of funding and resource, the accountants, or more accurately, management accountants, have become ever so important for any organization. With more and more reliance on artificial intelligence, the role of an accountant and management accountant has become ever so important to ensure the data accuracy, to bridge the trust gap, as rightly stated by our speaker, Mr. Gary Cocken. Only if the financial data and record is accurately, then analytical trends can perform the more reliable and accurate results and decision making. As everyone knows, accounting is the backbone of successful businesses, providing the financial information and insight necessary for sound decisions making. However, today's rapidly and evolving global landscape, the accounting profession faces new challenges and exciting opportunities that requires us to adapt and capitalize on new opportunities. I would preferably to say that adapting of technology and digitization is the advent of technology, and this digitization has significantly transformed the accounting profession. Automation and AI have revolutionized many aspects of accounting, as our experts said, such as data entry, transactions processing, and report generation. As accountants, we must embrace these technologies' advancements and leverage them to our advantage. By automating repetitive tasks, we can free up valuable time to focus on higher value activities such as financial analysis, strategic planning, and advisory services. Furthermore, the rise of big data and advanced analytical presents an immense opportunity for accountants to extract valuable insight from vast amount of financial information. By harnessing the power of data analytic, accountants can identify patterns, trends, and anomalies in financial data, enabling them to provide more accurate and proactive advice to clients or organizations. This analytic capability can also help in identifying potential risks and opportunities for business, thereby contributing their long-term success. Role as a strategic business partner, develop expertise in sustainability and environment reporting, reach out, provide services to global markets, continuous learning and professional development, maintaining highest standard ethics and transparency, embrace diversity and inclusivity. At the end, in my point of view, the future of the accounting profession is filled with immense opportunity. By embracing technology expanding our skill set, uploading ethics, fostering collaboration, and embracing diversity. We can chat a course for a vibrant and successful future. Let us seize this moment to reshape our profession and create an accounting landscape that is forward-thinking, adaptable, and prepared to address the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. We are, at the end, honored to esteemed line of speakers for webinar. Among them, they give their valuable expertise and views. Mr. Athan Krupu, Vice President, Safa, Professor Lakshman Watewala, President, CMA Sri Lanka, Mr. Tariq Sultan, CEO of Habib Metro Pakistan Private Limited, Mr. Mehtabuddin Ahmed, Vice President of the Institute of Cost and Management of Bangladesh, and Mr. Humayun Kabir, Member Council of and Past President of ICAP and Technical Advisor at SAFA, and Mr. Sujan Kumar, Vice President, ICANN. Their presence added immense value to today's event. Thank you, and I wish all the best. Together, let us shape the future of the accounting profession. I thank you, everybody, for your views and your expert views and your valuable thoughts for all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I would like to ask to all the participants to clap for yourself to make this event more successful.
And Shamsab, for group photo, I think everybody should switch on the camera and you take the photograph.
Yes, please.
For our memory. For a photograph, our Executive Director, Mr. Amir,
Thank you, everyone. Thanks to all. It's my pleasure to have all you people on this board, and definitely we shall wish to continue with you people in future as well.
Inshallah.
Thank
you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you and all the best.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Asim